Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing all right. So I want to show you guys some cool stuff. And anytime the 3D printing technology to me, I mean, this is like Star Trek that's available right now. And especially, I think it's so cool because with hemp, it's all good. I mean, it's all good for the environment. It's good for us. It's good for the animals. It's good for the ocean. And not only is it good for these things, it can end the perpetuation or greatly disturb and disrupt the perpetuation of all these toxic chemicals and plastics that we use every single day all over the place, which are also perpetuating these evil empires all over the world, not just here in America, all over the world. So let's take a look at the Builder Extreme 3000 Pro. I think this is made in the Netherlands, and it's I mean they're saying it's 40. That must be Netherlands money because that would be $50 million. I don't think it's that much expensive, but I'm sure it costs a pretty penny. But at the end of the day, it's able to create this. I mean, imagine hemp plastic, and you just type in the pattern that you want. You hit the fucking go button essentially, and this is what happens. It's pretty amazing. So like I'm showing you guys this, if you can imagine, like you can, it's like Lego. That's why I say it's a lot like Legos. You could put in whatever type of shape or pattern you want, and then just hit the go button, and these printers will literally print that fucking object for you. So you could do chairs, you could do tables, you could do cups. I mean, this is a huge, this is the biggest one that I've found on the internet so far. It's a meter by a meter, so this is a very large one, but you can also have very small ones. Ones of this size could be used. I mean, we have a housing situation here. I mean, the rent is continuing to go up, especially like here in places in Portland. I continue to hear from people working normal jobs, or pretty good jobs too, compared to other things, how much of an issue they're having just paying rent. Okay, and with this type of technology and things like hemp, we could start developing new dwellings, new ways of living. You start building yurts, all these type of things, at an extremely inexpensive price, and these things are also going to be in harmony with love and nature and all that good stuff. So it'll have multiple benefits, as well as providing an alternative solution to this housing crisis and the homeless situation here. Okay, it's another reason why this thing is so important, is you could literally have little hemp dwellings. I mean, you put a number of these cubes together and you could have yourself a nice little structure, you know. So, and again, if you work out a work program, there's ways that you can, based on how much people work, would give them a certain allowance to be able to use the hemp printing machine, and they might have to go out and harvest their own filament, or maybe there's a store where they can trade in their hours for a certain amount of filament, and then they can go to the 3D printer and whatever the juice or the energy requires to print out this object. And then you also have to account for the actual cost of the whole 3D printer and how you factor that into the the expense of somebody using it to get a fair exchange of energy. Or you could just have this as a public thing, like, hey man, we're just gonna make this, spend money on one 3D printer, make sure it's maintained and all this. Maybe you have taxes to help make sure it's maintained, but you could allow that open for the public, and all they would have to do is just essentially get the filament that they needed to print whatever object they wanted, and that would be all they have to do. Like, why not have something like this for everybody, especially if you're doing nothing but producing stuff that's good for the environment, good for oneself, and good for just everything. And it's also ending the perpetuation of these evil empires. So all right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.